In Dragon Ball Super Chapter 84, we see Goku and Vegeta use their new forms. Together?
Yes! 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 Yes!
Look at these freaking panels. Mwah! This is going to be hype. But before we get into that, we have to talk about Goku finally learning and remembering his parents. In Chapter 84, Goku has learned about his own true self, which, as we mentioned in the last Dragon Ball Super video, it will be the key in unlocking his own perfected version of Ultra Instinct. But contrary to what we expected, this chapter has some badass moments for Vegeta too.
Yes! Hell yeah!
Although the recent chapters have been focusing on Goku unlocking his version of Ultra Instinct by learning about his past and perhaps even finally getting a change in ideology, which is shown in this chapter, Vegeta also has a moment of clarity that changes his character to its core.
Huh?
Yes! Dragon Ball Super yet again has altered how we see the past events as original fans for the past 30 years. Every single chapter that is released, it is either reacting with fans acting like this or this.
Damn.
So we'll talk about that later. Let's get the community on the same page first. Dragon Ball Super Chapter 84 continues directly off the audio file that Bardock left in the Scouter as the transmission has finally come to an end. We see Goku react, shocked, and he's trying to comprehend all of the memories of his childhood that just flooded through his brain. This moment is not just Goku regaining those memories, it's coming to terms with them. And you may ask, well, what does that mean? Well, let me explain. Goku's childhood on planet Vegeta showcases an insane story of selflessness, and it provides a different definition of what Saiyan Pride is. Goku's entire life on Earth pretty much locked away these memories, and by proxy, a crucial part of himself. Minato explains that Bardock left the planet Cereal as soon as he was healed from his battle with Gas, leaving only his Scouter behind. Whilst Minato explains, Goku is still in a state of shock and discombobulated. Yes, I just said that word for the first time in my life. Just to
this guy's...
That's how insane it is, as it changes their entire story. He's discombobulated, mate. This is where Goku finally remembers his time on planet Vegeta. We as the readers are also shown new panels and moments from his time with his parents. Simple moments of Bardock going off to missions, waving goodbye to his wife Gine and his son Raditz.
Who?
Alright guys, come on now. I know he's like weak and disrespected all the time, and I know this is a serious moment, but stop making fun of Raditz.
I hate all of you.
Anyway, we see their family living a simple life, with us seeing this through Goku's perspective. Gine is even shown chatting with a friend of hers and falling asleep on the table, likely waiting for Bardock or Raditz to come home from a mission. Goku witnesses a family much like his own on Earth, Saiyans who love and care for each other, a father who loves his sons, a father who works hard on missions to provide for his family, a father that fights for his safety. It sheds another light upon the Saiyan race and Bardock's character, that they weren't all savage beasts, but a race whom had humanity. And this has been a story arc that has been developing throughout Dragon Ball Super's introduction. For example, the Super Saiyan God transformation was the first introduction to this story arc. Yamoshi, an ancient Saiyan who could transform into a Super Saiyan long before Goku could, he was very righteous despite being a Saiyan, and he alongside his 5 comrades attempted to wipe out the evil of the Saiyan race. This motif is continued through Bardock's character carrying on the will, pushing Goku and Vegeta forward with his idea of what Saiyan Pride is and what victory truly means against unbeatable odds. We see a familiar scene play out, Bardock sending Goku away from Vegeta before its destruction, but this time it's through Goku's lens. Being a child, Goku is extremely confused at first, seeing his father facing him with an unfamiliar expression to him. Gine places Goku in his pod that eventually takes him to Earth. We have to relive that scene that, you know, breaking down here, it breaks our hearts every time. Baby Goku pressing his hands against the glass, mirroring the father Bardock, looking at his parents as he flies away. I'm gonna cry. As Goku flies away from his home planet and by extension his parents, we cut back to the present. He explains to Vegeta that he finally understands Saiyan Pride, or more accurately, he remembers what it means along with his father. Goku states that he hasn't had complete faith in his power. This moment is huge for Goku, bigger than you can even imagine. Since the beginning of Dragon Ball, Goku has kept the same ideology throughout, always having complete faith in himself and fighting whomever came his way, whether that would be a full-on army, an alien, his own brother, a Saiyan prince, and many other monsters throughout the story. He never wavered, but we know that recently, mainly in this arc, Goku has finally wavered for the first time. This lack of faith in his power likely started when Whis asked him deep down, "Who are you?" as Goku was struggling to create his own version of Ultra Instinct. Unlike many others, other than fighting, Goku is not that intelligent. He mainly thinks about fighting and not deep philosophical questions. Unless, you know, someone outright questions him, he won't even think about it. Since Whis was so direct to Goku, unlike many others, not wanting to remind him of his past, for example in original Dragon Ball, everyone hid his Ozaru transformation to save him of the pain he may feel from the realization of killing his own grandfather Gohan. But by doing this, they sealed some of Goku's potential. And in this arc, Goku has finally started to ask himself, who am I? Goku knows he is a Saiyan and acknowledges his own humanity and what he strives for. But does Goku know the core essence of his being that creates his pride and who he is? Vegeta relates to Goku, saying he has begun to lose sight of his Saiyan pride and his true self, finally realizing that the sins of all the Saiyans are not his burden as the prince, but their pride is. He has to be the one to represent that pride via the selflessness and true justice that Bardock reminded him of. Vegeta needs to be a shining example of what a Saiyan and their pride is for their entire race as the prince. Vegeta had been blaming himself for the sins of the Saiyans, their brutal ways in the past selling planets, wiping out entire races. He blamed himself for it all. Granola's character was a parallel of his character in the past, and we saw how the past actions of his race created an innocent boy to lust for revenge due to the pain that they caused to him. Vegeta mentored Granola so that he can stray off the path that he was once on, a path of destruction and misery that Goku and the others saved him from. Bardock is the one who reminded Goku and Vegeta of what Saiyan Pride is, and since Vegeta has always valued his pride, like we can't forget that clip against Bull.
But there's one thing a Saiyan always keeps, his pride!
So being reminded of this makes him aware of who he truly is, also along with Goku. A Saiyan is someone who never gives up, a person that is fighting to win and believes in themselves. So for Vegeta, his ultra ego transformation will change because Vegeta's own stance has. He doesn't think that he should take on the sins of their race and atone for what they did, but now he is more aligned with himself, becoming enlightened with his nature. His Saiyan pride and joy of wanting to win no matter the odds will take over. Thus, his ultra ego can tank and take even more hits. Yeah guys, he turned his L's that the writers keep giving him into a new power. In terms of for Goku with his new Ultra Instinct, I suggest for you to hit the notification bell next time because we covered it in our previous Dragon Ball Super video in complete detail on why this will make him gain a new Ultra Instinct. However, going back to the chapter, Vegeta then exclaims that he is annoyed by the fact that Goku's father is the one who reminded him of his pride. He even says out loud what we're all thinking, that Raditz and Goku survived the destruction of planet Vegeta due to a wish that Bardock made, calling it not fair. He's likely calling it unfair since after the explosion of planet Vegeta, he was forced to practically be a slave for Frieza and suffered by his hand his entire life. Remember when Vegeta died to Frieza in the planet Namek? He lamented about it. He was like, bruh, my life was so hard. I hate this guy so much. Everyone cried at that moment. Vegeta talking about his feelings, about how much he's suffered. Vegeta calls Goku and his brother pampered, with Goku bringing up that Vegeta always spoils his daughter, bruh, with a, funny smug look. Vegeta is of course angry at this since that has nothing to do with what he's talking about and was just embarrassed. Vegeta, after all, he's the #1 tsundere guy. He's a manly man.
So true.
Minato then talks to Bardock vicariously through the scouter, saying, what a funny way for your will to be passed down. He then explains that a person's pride is not about atoning for their sins like Vegeta mistakenly thought in the Moro arc, feeling like he had to save the planet to atone for what he did to the Namekians. Secondly, explaining that pride is not about taking revenge like Vegeta has thought time and time again, and he's also referring to a granola, thinking he had to be the one to kill Frieza on Namek and telling Granola to take revenge with his own hands. He's referring to Granola saying, bro, you don't even need to do that. The true meaning of pride is sticking to who you are and accepting your nature, which Goku has always done, and every tribe has this commonality. Minato offers to heal both Goku and Vegeta since, Gas is literally flying towards them at top speed. Like, bro, these guys are worried because they're Saiyans after all. Anyway, Goku and Vegeta thank Minato with sincerity. He then proceeds to give Goku and Vegeta new outfits. New drip, original Saiyan outfits. Look how drippy they are, bruh. This panel is actually really telling, as Goku and Vegeta look uncomfortable in them. In Goku's case, it makes sense, but this is symbolism for how much Vegeta's character has changed and shifted since that time. Even in the Namek saga, he wore that armor and complimented its ergonomics, but now he wants nothing to do with it. They immediately ask Minato for their old outfits back, and Vegeta exclaims that he can't get used to that jacket, which, as I just explained, isn't based on its comfort, but what it stands for in Vegeta's mind. He's moved past that. Minato is of course confused, asking them, why don't you want to look like Bardock? Because he ain't wrong. He ain't wrong. Who doesn't want to look like this guy? Gas finally locates Goku and Vegeta. He's still furious from being completely humiliated by Goku in chapter 82. Here's a quick reminder for you guys. Gas lands directly on the planet, shocking all three of them. Gas orders Goku and Vegeta to come out. The Heaters also realize that Gas is back, impressed because he arrived back even sooner than they expected. Maki asks Elec, what now? And he responds saying that they should move the ship closer to the battle, but not too close. Basically, he wants to watch the insanely awesome battle without dying. Anyway, Goku and Vegeta walk out like complete badasses, back in their original outfits, with looks of conviction on their faces. Gas is surprised, exclaiming that he assumed that they would run away by now, and Goku claps back saying, bitch, what you thinking? That you and your bag needs to leave, bitch! Vegeta further shows a significant difference in his personality. At first, he is as usual, saying that he wants to defeat Gas, even if it kills him. Goku responds saying he won't let Vegeta have all the fun. And in a surprising twist, Vegeta is the one who says they should fight together. That's right! But It's not what you think. This isn't out of necessity as you may think, like when they fused against Broly and Zamasu. Well, as Vegeta and Goku start to power up, they both argue on who is gonna get the final blow, meaning they aren't gonna finish him together. No, it's more like a competition between the two of them. They both need to perfect their Ultra Ego and Ultra Instinct forms in this fight after gaining self-enlightenment on who they are. We get an awesome panel of Goku and Vegeta entering Ultra Ego and Ultra Instinct, and this panel, oh my lord, I was reading this shit, I was like, oh, you need to calm down, sir. Sir, and you need to call them sir when these forms are on. And you know what's excellent that you might not have noticed? They look like complete opposites, with Vegeta screaming with all his might and Goku remaining completely calm and silent. There is a juxtaposition between these two forms. Their aura explodes and entangles, shocking even Gas, who at this point is the strongest in the universe. Gas repeats the same shit for the 100th time, saying, oh bruh, this is all meaningless, teamwork don't mean nothing, you guys are mindless saints. I'm like, bruh, shut your mouth, man. Are you even a character at this point? Please. Yo, cut. No. Goku explains that Gas doesn't understand. Vegeta joins in, saying it has nothing to do with their odds. They both just want to win. A similar thing Bardock stated in the past against Gas, which resulted in his victory, surpassing his limits. So Gas might, end up getting Vietnam flashbacks pretty soon. This highlights that although the panel before had their forms shown as complete opposites, their mindsets, they are the same. They want to defeat Gas, competing over who will finish him. They rush towards Gas together in tandem, Goku's punch being blocked, which of course he doesn't react to as he has to stay composed in Ultra Instinct, and Vegeta being the opposite, being frustrated that his kick has been easily blocked. Gas is not impressed with the two Saiyans, and they both jump away to prepare once again. The fight continues with Gas playing with the two, not even breaking a sweat, even when Vegeta comes from above and tries to smash him down with both arms. He easily dodges despite being in combat with Goku.
However, even after being pushed back by Gas, Goku and Vegeta continues to be persistent. Bardock, illustrating what it truly means to be a Saiyan, was taken to heart, and now both of them are fighting with the same goal in mind, simply to win. Their synergy and ability to fight together slowly seems to be paying off, as Gas bit by bit starts finding things more difficult than he originally anticipated. Goku and Vegeta starts landing blows where the two together are equal to the strongest in the universe. Gas finally separates their combination attacks by picking them off one by one. Vegeta gets his head bashed in by a freaking mace, leaving Goku all on his ones. And well, yeah, that didn't go well. After Goku is finally pinned down, Gas lets out all his frustration and channels his inner Frieza, saying out loud, "Don't get cocky, you pathetic monkeys." Oh shit, okay, I'm gonna calm down. But just before Goku gets crushed under the feet of this fascist, the true Saiyan that we all were waiting for finally has his moment. Yes, Vegeta, amped up with his massive Hakai bomb, interrupts Gas' alone time with Goku, saying, "Move aside, Kakarot. This is a god of destruction move, capable of erasing mere mortals." However, knowing that his attack will be moving slower than an asthmatic sloth, he taunts Gas to take on his blast head on. Even though Gas, due to the Dragon Balls, was granted to be the strongest in the universe, he definitely did not increase in IQ. But to his credit, he does summon Captain America's shield to take on this energy of destruction and actually manages to hold his ground. At this point, Goku, feeling left out, decides to give Vegeta a hand, giving us one of the best bro moments of this series. As these warriors are locked in a stalemate, pushing this massive death bomb, Gas's siblings are munching on that popcorn whilst giving their 2 cents. As Maki gets concerned for her brother, Alec confidently says Gas can't lose, because if Goku and Vegeta couldn't beat Granola whilst using this very same transformation, then it's impossible to win against Gas, who became the strongest in the universe just right after. So he reassures his siblings, don't worry, little bro got this, just watch. Well, what he ain't considering is the fact that these two are freaking Saiyans. They were beaten and busted up, then healed up. Zenkai Boost ain't no joke. For those who forgot, these Saiyans have an exclusive genetic trait that allows the power to tremendously increase after recovering from battle, especially if it's fatal. On top of that, the two were struggling with understanding their inner self and what it means to master their respective forms, Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego. When Bardock made the statement to Gas saying he is fighting for no other reason but to win, it gave Goku a better understanding of what it means to be a Saiyan, along with reminding Vegeta of his Saiyan Pride. This respect for their race is what gave Vegeta a huge boost in power, along with allowing him to break free from a strong magician's control. However, along the years, Vegeta assimilating with the humans and then finding love and a place with his own family made him feel remorseful and in a way pushed him into his atonement phase. We even saw this in the Boo saga when he blew himself up. Yeah, that was pretty sad because it didn't really amount to much. Coming back to the fight, Gas does in fact overcome Vegeta's attack, sending it right to back. However, Vegeta leaves Goku to handle it, whilst heading right for Gas, trying to surprise him with another attack. This, however, doesn't end too well. As you can see, Vegeta, yeah. But hold up, wait a minute. I think Toriyama heard our calls and is finally answering our prayers. I know you're thinking, what are you talking about, ABD? Vegeta just got slapped the heck up. Listen. Where else have we seen something like this before? Yes, it was in Bardock's flashback. Yes, Vegeta is the embodiment of a Saiyan's pride. Honestly, I think if anyone can replicate what Bardock did by overcoming impossibilities, it's Vegeta. In fact, right after, when Gas asks him whether he still thinks he can win, Vegeta gives the most badass grin and says, why wouldn't I? This is a parallel to Bardock's fight with Gas, when Gas even asks Bardock, I suppose you lost the will to fight back now. Bardock just smirks and says, you wish. Nothing gets my blood more pumped than a powerful foe. Vegeta literally reenacted this scene. Likewise, this makes Gas mad to the point where he's ready to kill Vegeta. However, just before Gas goes in to end Vegeta's career, we move back to Goku as he manages to finally fling Vegeta's attack to the sky. As he instant transmissions back to the fight, we see Vegeta, not dead, but is the one who is slapping the shit out of Gas. Nani? This not only surprises Goku, but Gas too. He's like, what the frick? I'm so gassed out. Oh my god, no. What's happening? Not again. Okay, I need to calm down. That was a bit cringe. Gas, now flabbergasted, says, how is this possible? You worm, what trickery is this? Gas questions how Vegeta is still able to move and fight even after all the damage he has taken. Again, paralleling Gas's defeat against Bardock, a true Saiyan warrior, like our very own Saiyan Prince. Vegeta smirks and tells him that damage is nothing but fuel for him, and again gloats, telling Gas that this means as the fight prolongs, he is only getting stronger. Now, hopefully guys, Vegeta will actually take this dub, as thematically, it would make sense that his Ultra Ego has been refined by the remembrance of what a Saiyan Pride really is. In the case of Goku, we already explained how he will master his version of Ultra Instinct, but ultimately, I believe he should take a bit longer in achieving it. He needs more experience to refine himself. Listen, I can't be the only one wanting Vegeta to finally have won over Goku. Come on man, it's about time. Like, think about it. Throughout this entire arc, it felt like it belonged to Vegeta, with his own redemption and now self-discovery. Granola was even a portrayal of how Vegeta saw himself and even related to his cause. When he gave his Senzu bean to Granola, it also represented his growth. However, after witnessing Bardock's reason for fighting, it unlocked the potential Vegeta had with his Ultra ultra ego. Watch this video next so you can understand why Vegeta's character had the biggest development so far and why he should be the one to defeat the Heaters and close this arc.